this is a fan game of Avatar, The Legend of Korra. I've already played the tutorial. We are going to be doing a review of the game. And a few matches testing the elements out. Earth is my personal favorite.
Welcome to tonight's pro betting match, folks. This match was brought to you by Cabbage Core. They'll have you screaming, "My cabbages!" in no time. Tonight's match is already off to a fiery start. Red team's Earthbender makes good headway into the other team's defenses. Blue team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team advancing to zone 1. Can red team press the advantage? The opposition can't seem to hit the blue team's Waterbender. Red team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the first zone. Hey, my script! Red team's Earthbender intercepts the attack with their shield. Blue team advancing to zone 1.
This game is quite fun. I can't wait till they add multiplayer to this game.
Hey, my script! Red team's Earthbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team's Waterbender follows right after. I don't think the opposition is going to hit the red team's Earthbender anytime soon. Blue team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team's Airbender is tearing down the opposition's defenses. Look what you did. You got my suit wet. Red team's Airbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Blue team advancing to zone 1. Can blue team press the advantage? An impressive barrage by the blue team's Earthbender. Red team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the third zone. And red team's Earthbender was just knocked off the platform. And boy, did that look like it hurt. Red team's Waterbender tires out the opposition, likely preparing a counterattack. And red team's Waterbender is down for a count. Blue team takes the match. What an incredibly close game, folks.
That was the review.
Oh, that was boring.
That was a bit boring, yes. But, you know. Yeah. Earthbender is my personal favorite because it is the most
Is this thing still on?
unique. I do like the commentary though. We'll be doing water next. I have not played at all with the water.
Welcome to tonight's pro betting match, folks.
So
Hold on to your fire flakes, because this match is gonna get spicy.
yeah, there's
Things are already pretty intense right off the bell.
alright.
Blue team's Waterbender, red team's Earthbender intercepts the attack with their shield. Red team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Blue team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team's Airbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team's Earthbender makes good headway into the other team's defenses. Red team advancing to zone 1.
I like where this is going.
Can red team press the advantage? You know, I've always wanted to be a fireman, pushing society to a brighter tomorrow. And I can assure you, if I were a firebender, I would be doing this for a career. Blue team's Waterbender isn't giving the opposition any time to catch their breath. And blue team's Firebender is in the sink. Blue team's last bender. Hold on to see the next round.
Wait a second here.
Blue team advancing to zone 1.
Can I get a, okay, that I guess I can. I ran into
Red team advancing to zone 1.
I keep forgetting there ain't a barrier.
Can red team press the advantage? Blue team's waterbender gets knocked back to the 3rd zone. Red team advancing to zone 2.
All I can do is
Getting the complete knockout in this round is extremely likely. Red team's earthbender is tearing down the opposition's defenses. Red team takes home the championship prize! What an incredibly close game, folks. Well, that was
Alright, let's do another match.
boring.
Let's see.
Wait, is this thing still on?
Man, we got destroyed. I got destroyed.
Welcome to tonight's Pro Betting match, folks.
Alright,
This match was brought to you by Flamio Instant Noodles, the noodliest noodles in the United Republic.
Sponsors that go on in the background.
Hi! You almost hit me. Is something cooking in here? An impressive barrage by the red team's earthbender. Red team's firebender gets knocked back to the 2nd zone. Followed by red team's earthbender gets knocked back to the 2nd zone. Red team's waterbender follows right after. Blue team advancing to zone 1. Can blue team press the advantage? It appears that one of the players has a vendetta against me. Red team's firebender slips and slides like a wet eelhound. Red team's earthbender intercepts the attack with their shield. It appears that one of the players has a vendetta against me. Blue team's waterbender gets knocked back to the 1st zone. Red team's firebender gets knocked back to the 3rd zone.
Completely different era.
Isn't there a fool that's shooting the messenger? Red team's earthbender intercepts the attack with their shield. Blue team advancing to zone 2. I don't want to be a downer, but with more than 30 seconds on the clock, it's unlikely that red team will be able to avoid a knockout in this round. God, not my cabbages! Blue team wins tonight's match. What an incredibly close game, folks. Well, that was boring. Wait, is this thing still on?
Keep getting knockouts. I mean, I like getting knockouts, but again, alright.
Welcome to tonight's Pro Betting match, folks. Give it up for tonight's contestants. Both sides are looking hot, juicy, and ready to rumble.
If you want, I'll put it in like now. Yeah, you can try to yell at me. I probably deserve it. I just wish there was no player.
Hey, you have to pay for that. Recording equipment is expensive. Red team's airbender gets knocked back to the 2nd zone. Followed by red team's firebender. Red team's earthbender gets knocked back to the 2nd
What
zone.
did I do?
Red team advancing to zone 1.
Alright, I'm pretty sure you people who don't want to just watch AIs battle each other.
Is anyone else seeing this? Red team's firebender is literally dancing. Welcome to tonight's Pro Betting match, folks. This match was brought to you by Cabbage Corn. They'll have you screaming "My cabbages" in no time.
Just not win.
Red team's airbender gets knocked back to the 2nd zone. Blue team advancing to zone 1. Can blue team press the advantage? Is anyone else seeing this? Red team's Earthbender is literally dancing through the opposition's attacks. Blue team's Airbender gets knocked back to the first zone. Red team's Waterbender tires out the opposition, likely preparing a counter-attack. Blue team's Airbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Blue team's Airbender isn't giving the opposition any time to catch their breath. Red team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the third zone. Blue team advancing to zone 2. It's not looking good for red team.
Quite good though.
Blue team's Firebender gets knocked back to the first zone.
What makes things interesting if they survive.
Hey! You have to pay for that. Boarding equipment is
I
expensive.
don't think so. I don't.
Blue team takes the match.
They did not.
What an incredibly close game,
Just
folks.
the thing they wanted to do. Alright. Time for the last play and then
Well, that was
face my
boring.
opinions.
Wait, is this
The
thing still on?
Alright.
Welcome to tonight's pro betting match, folks. This match was brought to you by Cabbage Core. They'll have you screaming, "Buy cabbages!" in no time.
I have the power of
An impressive barrage by the blue team's Earthbender. Blue team's Earthbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team's Firebender gets knocked back to the second zone. Joke's on you. I got Future Industries attack-resistant glass installed. Ha-ha! And red team advancing to zone 1. Can red team press the advantage? Red team's Earthbender makes good headway into the other team's defenses. Not my cabbages! Blue team's Airbender gets knocked back to the third zone. Blue team's Earthbender is tearing down the opposition's defenses. It appears that one of the players has a vendetta against me.
Alright.
Red team advancing to...
Try that one more time. I am with the air. And then gives my opinion. We are not watching AIs battle each other, I'm telling you that. That seems too boring now. Even though you're stuck listening to someone who sounds like a 10-year-old.
Welcome to tonight's pro betting match, folks. This match was brought to you by Flamio Instant Noodles, the noodliest noodles in the United Republic.
What? Oh, there they are.
Wow, these vendors are very serious tonight. Blue team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Blue team's Firebender follows right after. Red team's Earthbender gets knocked back to the second zone.
Wait, no.
Followed by red team's Waterbender.
Teammates help.
Blue team advancing to zone 1. Can blue team press the advantage? Blue team's Waterbender gets knocked back to the first zone. Red team advancing to zone 1.
A more interesting match.
Hey, you have to pay for that. Boarding equipment is expensive.
Wait, what is this?
Red team's Firebender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team's Waterbender follows right after.
I did something.
Red team's Earthbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Blue team advancing to zone 1. Can blue team press the advantage?
Why does it keep him?
Blue team's airbender gets knocked back to the first zone.
At all. He just worked for long.
Red team's firebender gets knocked back to the third zone. Followed by red team's waterbender. The opposition can't seem to hit the blue team's firebender. Blue team's waterbender gets knocked back to the first zone.
Alright.
Red team advancing to zone 1.
This is definitely one of my more interesting matches.
Hey! Now that's not very nice. Red team's firebender gets knocked back to the second zone. Red team's earthbender follows right after. Blue team's firebender gets knocked back to the second zone. Since the last round ended on equal terms, both teams are gonna have to duke it out in a tiebreaker.
This is my
Blue
platform.
team takes another round.
Alright, this seems like a more
The bell
interesting
kicks off
match
another
now.
round.
Do not face me. You'll only end in front of me.
Isn't there a rule against shooting the messenger? Red team's waterbender gets knocked back to the second zone. Followed by red team's firebender. Blue team's firebender gets knocked back to the second zone.
Get out of
Boy, talk about a one-sided beatdown. Not my cabbages! Blue team's firebender lays down the heat, burning down the opposition's defense. Blue team advancing to zone 1. Can blue team press the advantage?
What is this one? I was just not doing anything.
This match has been very one-sided and it is almost too painful to watch. Blue team's firebender isn't giving the opposition any time to catch their breath. The opposition is having a lot of difficulty hitting the red team's firebender.
Where's with the earth tender?
Blue team's airbender gets knocked back to the first zone. Boy, talk about a one-sided beatdown.
Get back.
Red team's waterbender gets knocked back to the third zone. And red team's waterbender is in the sink. If red team's last bender, hold on to see the next round. Blue team's firebender makes good headway into the other team's defenses. Blue team wins tonight's match.
Alright.
And that's the game, folks. Blue team
I see
advancing to...
that is the game. Alright. I'm going to say my opinions on this game. This game is really good. I wish the classes were more diverse, but it is really fun, and I hope they do add multiplayer. So that has been my gameplay review of this fantastic game. Discord and link to the game in the description. Have a wonderful day. See you nerds later.